How's it going?
Long time no talk.
Yeah, FR, dude. How we doing? A whole dog ago.
Oh,
Um,
I think we should call this episode egregiously sad. Um, because this is the first time we've talked since Mickey's passing, which is
passing.
awful. He lived a long life. He was a very good dog. I do have funny things to say.
About his death or
Yeah,
about the
of
dog?
course. Oh,
About
about
his
his
death in
about his
particular.
death. About his death in particular. Um,
All right, sure, fuck it. Let's see. What do you got written about this one?
ah, what I got loaded in the chamber. Well, it's not from me, it's from Cam. Because Cam has lost a couple dogs in his life, and he says it's worse than
First.
losing a person.
Oh.
And he's like,
Huh.
maybe I just haven't lost the right people. Which I don't think he's like trying to be funny, but Cam's funny. I don't think he tries to be funny, but
So
Cam's
funny.
funny.
Cam is so funny. He texted me something I think that was really nice after Mickey died. I haven't opened it yet. But which is why I say I think it's really nice.
You have
Um
to assume, yeah.
I have to assume that he wasn't like, I'm so fucking glad that guy's gone. Um yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if he's here, yeah, Cam. I should respond to him, but I haven't yet. Uh
What he
yeah,
said to
it's
me,
weird.
he
All
was
right.
like, when he was talking about when his dogs died, and he was talking about how like Brogan just hated you.
Yes. That dog did hate me. I don't know why, but that dog fucking hated me. It was I was unsafe in his house for like
Mm,
9 years, it feels like.
it's
It
a
might
long
not have
time.
actually been 9 years. It might have actually it might have been like 9 years. Um, yeah, except for like one Cam will tell you that there's like one day that the dog liked me. There was like a single day I like stayed over his house, so I guess the dog had like forgotten that I was
Oh,
an
an
outsider,
enemy.
an
Yeah.
enemy, the enemy, not just an enemy, like the enemy. Uh, and we were mad chill. And then that day ended, and we were at it was like the Christmas truce of like World War I. It was like one day we celebrated, and then we went back to
I
as
guess I
things
didn't
always
pay
have.
attention in history class. The Christmas truce of World War One. Do you want to
Yeah.
elaborate, or should we blow right past that?
I mean, there's not. You want to get egregiously sad is the title of the
Egregiously
episode.
sad.
The first part we talk about my dog. The second part we talk about the horrors of trench warfare.
Oh, jeez.
Like,
Yeah, how have you been? You were just with your family. Do you want to? How's DC? If you want to.
it was nice. I mean, it was so yeah. It was like a really weird like 48 hours of like okay, like my dad's in the hospital. My dad's out of the hospital. My
Mm,
dog is being put down. My dad is putting my dog down immediately after he gets out of the hospital
Jesus
and then is getting
Christ.
on a train to DC. It was just like there was a lot of moving parts.
Oh,
And like I drove down the next day. Um but yeah, it was I mean it was good to see kind of like
everybody.
family. Yeah, Emily and
Mm,
Caroline were a mess. I will say that like before they put Mickey down, my dad took him to the beach for the first time in a while, and your mom was there.
yeah.
And I think I might have texted you this, but really, or said this to you, but like really credit your mom for the camera work. Like, because my dad just like handed her his phone with us on a group FaceTime and was like, go. And she
Oh.
like really produced like some very like nice shots when it wasn't like a pic like her pants, like when it like jumps between like really beautiful, like thank you for capturing this, and then like Aunt
Yeah.
Eileen, that's your shoe. Like
That's your shoe.
we
Yeah.
can't see um the dog. But no, it was nice. I got a lot of screenshots of that FaceTime call. So
Oh.
it's gonna be nice. But yeah, they were a mess. And they were like, Caroline in particular was just like, my dog died. Like, would just kind of like say that over and over. But so,
I feel like she would put up the peace sign. Oh, my dog
yeah,
died.
she got, yeah, exactly. But so, they text in like the siblings group chat. Caroline texts in the siblings group chat. Emily does too. And they're like, we're getting fucked up on Saturday. Like, like, R.I.P. Mick.
Yeah,
We're getting
right.
the Caroline's
Pour one
like,
out.
I'm blacking out on Saturday. And I was like, shit, there was a time in my life where that would have been my reaction. It's not my reaction
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
I was like, okay, maybe I'm a little old because I was like, you got, and the other thing was Emily was like, it's my friend's birthday. So we're going to pregame at her house and then go to a club all together and we can pair this together with getting blackout drunk for Mickey. And I was like,
It's what
great.
he would
Okay.
have wanted.
It's what he would have wanted. He really would have wanted me and Hannah with Emily's like 19-year-old friends celebrating her like 20th birthday. Like imagine just like a string of fake IDs and of them
Yeah,
Hannah and I's California licenses look the most out of place. Like
yeah.
they're like a bunch of kids from Rhode Island and us. Um so I didn't go with
Oh,
Emily and
yeah.
Caroline and Emily's friends to this club in DC that they were going to, but they went and they had a time. Um, they used the combined forces of it's her birthday and my dog died to get free table service. They got invited
Oh shit.
behind the DJ booth at the club, got 2 free bottles of champagne, a free bottle of Hennessy. Apparently, Caroline's throwing back Hennessy shots to the
Oh my
point where
god.
she starts to get to referred to as the Henny Goblin. Think about that. Think the DJ comes over and just starts like handing Caroline's asking for the mic. She wants it.
Oh no.
She
Oh
wants
no.
and I I don't remember. I don't know much more. You'll have to ask her. But like, there are some videos, and in every single video, the funniest part of every video from the night is like, if she's not the main focus, at some point in the video, you can see Caroline in the background, like borderline, like spooning the DJ, just kind of like try, like behind the guy, like
Like,
trying to grab the mic, like, but also kind of dancing. And it's
yeah.
just like in every single video,
I need that's so
Caroline.
funny. God
It was,
damn.
yeah. So they came back probably like 3 a.m. That night.
Oh.
And I learned about all of this the next morning. What they were supposed I knew they were gonna go out. I knew they were probably gonna go hard. I didn't know they were gonna get bottle service, but I did think like one of the things Caroline was like so set on was we're like kind of in the middle of downtown DC in the hotel we're at. Um and she's like, I need to see Abe. When I'm blacked out, I need to go see the Lincoln Monument. And I was like, I won't go to the club with you, but I will go to the Lincoln Monument with you at like 2 a.m. if you
Oh
want.
my
Like,
god. Yeah.
so please,
Is that is that the
like
spot at 2 a.m.? Are they not closed? I don't know how that works.
I don't either. I don't. So I have been to the Lincoln Monument kind of late at night before.
Yeah.
It's well lit. It's
Yeah.
cool. It's
But if you go at
um
2 a.m., the chair's just empty. He's
where is
not even
he?
there.
Who knows?
He's like he clocks
Um
out for the night.
yeah, right. He put in his 12 hours. He's
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
Um but and then the other thing she was like, I want to go see Abe, and then the other thing I want to do, which like I didn't even realize you could get this close, but she was like, Emily was telling us about how like sometimes when she gets drunk with her friends in DC, what they like to do is they like to go up to the Washington Monument, which is the big pillar, and just
Oh,
kind of like sit with like legs up against the monument. And I was like, there's no way you're gonna be able to get close enough to the
no, you can
thing
do
to be able.
that.
Yeah, you can do it. And like I guess those were like the big 2 a.m. plans, like, but unfortunately, like free Hennessy bottle service and this DJ really won out. So we didn't go, they
Oh,
didn't go to that.
damn.
Which was a shame. I'd like to say that I stayed up just in case like the call came
Yeah.
in, but like nah, I was sleeping, man.
Damn. The
Yeah.
call comes in. The sisters are coming. The sisters are coming. You're like, oh no,
Yeah.
one if by land.
Two if by Hennessy. Yeah, it was, so it was a good trip. Emmy got it. So Emmy's like a White House correspondence intern or some shit like
Cool.
that. Yeah.
Incredible.
So like when people call the White House or like write letters to the White House, it's like Emmy that answers. And she has like, you know, pre-written responses that she's supposed to give, or like, she kind of
Right.
forwards the call along. Actually, I don't think she can forward the call along to anybody. I think she has to be like, email this person.
That's
Uh,
funny.
but so because of that sweet gig, which she has a ton of stories about, a lot
Yeah.
of which are just like people either like complaining about things that are like way above her pay grade, or like B being like, can you make it stop raining? And which, like, those are the calls that I actually like. I like that, like, people think
Yeah.
the weather machine is anywhere near
Yeah.
Emily and is like and is
Like we
real.
know we know it's controlled by the government, and I bet this girl can help us. Can help
If
take us down from the
anyone
inside.
right, who is tapped into that level of information? The White House correspondence intern.
Yeah, exactly, exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly.
But along with being like DEFCON 1 level security clearance, she also gets like tours of the White House garden. Like, I guess they
Oh.
sell tickets to those, and she got like a couple of passes for me and my family to go do. She didn't come with us because she was like, I work there.
She's like,
I
this is
don't,
boring. This is old news to
yeah,
me.
kinda. And it was like, okay, sure, fine. The so I was on the lawn of the White House. There was a band playing like on like the steps or like the patio or whatever the fuck.
Cool.
Like the front of the White House.
Yeah.
And they were playing a bunch of like, I don't know, just like it was a big band, so they're doing like classical music, but then they started playing like show tunes and shit. And then they at one point were playing just like music from Star Wars, which was
Oh,
like kind of
yeah. Oh, hell
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
but it was like a little eerie hearing like the White House band play like the Imperial
I
March.
was gonna say,
It
did
was
they
like
play the Imperial March? That's
they
a little
did,
too
and
on
like
the
very
nose.
confidently, like very, very confidently. I was like, yeah, I looked around and I was like, this does feel kind of like they're in on this joke. Like they
Yeah,
have to,
jeez.
like, oh my God, we're so self-aware. Um, but it like, and it's kind of crazy, like there were two things that struck out to me that were crazy beyond just like the fact that the White House band was so openly into imperialism. Uh, One was like it kept like at certain points it's like, oh, this is very obviously like a fucking national monument, like this
Hmm.
is very
Hmm.
obviously like a government building. And then it's just like, oh, but there's the swing set. Like this, I forget that like people live. I'm in somebody's backyard right now. Like I
Yeah.
can't imagine how weird this must be for the people
Yeah.
who live in the White House. I don't have a ton
Yeah.
of sympathy for them on a baseline, but like I think that is a little bizarre. That it must be like weird that it's like 10 a.m. on a Sunday and there are maybe 3,000 people in your backyard.
Yeah.
Not to mention the 150 people right outside your front yard, and they're a lot more angry. They're like protesting. We're just enjoying the band. They are protesting. So it's just like that is a little confusing. And then the other thing that I was thinking about was just like how like it that place is so well monitored. Like there are eyes literally everywhere, and it's like
Those
nobody.
kids can't sneak out for shit.
Yeah, the kids can't sneak out for shit, but also the little kids getting like White House tours cannot be little kids at all.
Oh.
Like I heard like, so if you put like a foot on the grass, off the
Hmm.
like the walk path,
Hmm.
there's somebody, hey, oh, or like, like there are certain points where there's like maybe like a curb, like maybe
Hmm.
like a foot tall, maybe 8-inch tall curb. And like any normal child, like the kid gets up on the curb and tries to kind of like balance across. I must have heard like 8 different kids get yelled at for that. Like,
Oh.
off the blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I don't know, like they would like some of these kids were standing like 2 feet in front of me, and the people over there caught it quicker than me.
Oh,
It
wow.
was just like it was crazy how like, and then if you actually started to look around, you could see like, oh, there's a camera in that plant, or like
Are these
or
kids the threat to national security standing on
yeah,
the foot tall curb? Like, come on.
they might be. I mean, there was a guy on the roof, and I was like, oh. And my
Jesus
dad was like,
Christ.
"That's a sniper," and I was like, "No, no, he's not in sniper position. He'd be laying down if he was. This guy,
If he was a
this
sniper, you
guy's the
wouldn't know it.
dummy. He's the
Yeah, he was.
decoy, right? um,
Jeez.
so it was crazy. It really did feel like, and then like so a lot of them were Secret Service, right?
Mm.
They were all Secret Service. The ones that weren't like volunteers who knew things. Um, I also didn't realize like a lot of those Secret Service guys just kind of look like normal cops. Like they don't look particularly qualified.
They're cops who like got to blackmail their superiors into a better job.
A little bit. I was like, yo, I was like, Loki, this is a great job. Like, you're a Secret Service agent, and the biggest threat you have is like me on the grass. Like, that is like,
Well,
oh man,
with
you're either really bad at this, or like you're somebody's nephew or
yeah,
something, because
exactly.
this is a great
Nepotism.
gig. Yeah.
Uh, I wonder, with all the angry people on the other side of the building, does Emmy ever get like harassed? And when she's walking into work, she's like, just clocking in for my 9 to 5, and people would be like, "You're the reason this country's awful," and she's like, thank you. I've never had this much power."
So I don't think so, because like they do a lot of like the clerical shit, like, the
Mm.
answering of phones, the like office workers, the administrative workers within kind of like the White House don't, I think, work in the White House. They work in
Oh,
like
I
a
see.
couple of the buildings like on the side of it, or like in
Oh, I see.
front.
I
I
see. I
think
see.
Emmy was telling me like they bought an entire block, like, right in front of the White House. And those like little 10 little buildings right there are like the different like administrative branches of the
Hmm.
government. So I don't think Emmy's ever like in the direct line of fire of a protest. I don't think that like protests are usually like that coordinated enough that like they go after like the mail, you know.
Yeah.
um but and I think the like correspondence office or some bits of the administrative work within it is like nonpartisan. So it's like doesn't matter who the president is. Like this person isn't tied to an administration. They're like hired by this desk. They're at this desk job no
Interesting.
matter what, you know?
And they're just like
Um,
really specific protests that are just like, pick a side, and it's just like, how dare you be bipartisan in this, or nonpartisan, bipartisan,
but I don't know. I
one
don't
of
know. I
them.
think I said
How dare,
bipartisan. Did I say nonpartisan? I don't know.
do they mean different things? They are
I don't
opposites. We don't have
know.
to get
I
into
think they
this.
mean the same thing. I think bipartisan and nonpartisan mean the same. I think no, nonpartisan. I don't know. Doesn't bipartisan mean that both parties support it? I'm better.
Oh,
Bipartisan.
bipartisan support. So, but people are mad at Emily for not picking sides. They're like, we don't even care which side you're on. Stand for something. And she's just like,
God,
what do
please.
you want?
Yeah. Think she's standing for is college credit. That's what
Yeah,
she's like.
literally.
That's
Um,
her loyalty is to her advisor. Um, yeah.
well, those are some good. I'm glad to know that DC's in good hands. That our country's national security is in good hands. Um,
Yeah. It really just like being in DC really strikes you that like so much of government, so much of policing, so much of like the things that kind of rule our world are just kind of like some guy, you know?
yeah.
Like like and you don't realize how many just some guys it is until you're like there and you're like, wait a minute.
Un- until it's your younger sister, and you're like, she's in charge of this.
It's like when like your friends become like teachers and doctors. It's like,
You're just like, no, no, no.
oh fuck.
Don't let
Like,
them
yeah.
do this. Yeah.
It's like I've seen you do really stupid things, and now like you want to be a heart surgeon. Like, oh
That's wild.
lordy, yeah,
Um, I want to get back to egregiously sad, because my sister likes to call me, and sometimes I'll be on stream and I'm like, "Hey, Regina, you're live on stream." And she's like, "That's fine. People can hear me." Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then she goes on to say really, really sad things. Like, she's done this 3 times to me where she says really sad things on stream, like that she doesn't say to me off stream in our regular conversations where we're just shooting the shit. Most recently, it was oh god. Oh god, what was it? Because there were two sad things and one of them was way sadder than the other. Damn, I should have written it down. But so she calls me, and she's like, is anybody watching? I'm like, yeah, two or three people. She's like, okay, that's cool. Um, when oh, this is what it was. She's like, when are our parents moving to Florida for the winter? And I was like, probably early November. And she goes, if mom isn't here for Thanksgiving, I'm never coming home again. And I'm
What?
like, okay, uh, I don't know how much control I have over that. And she's like, I don't care if you're here. I don't care if dad's here. If mom's not here, I'm never coming home ever again. I mean it. And I'm just like, okay, cool. You're killing the vibe. She's like, it's just, I was just thinking, so I was in Florida last winter, and when I came back in March of this year, I came back to our house in Lynn before my parents. So I was living alone in the house, and Regina came to visit around Easter. And when she came back, this is what she said on stream. She's like, that was maybe the worst weekend of my entire life because I came back and I saw the house in just a state of disarray. And it made me think about how you can't take care of yourself or the house. And I'm just worried about what it's going to be like when both of our parents die. And I was like, I want to thank you for coming on the stream. It's been a pleasure. Unfortunately, we might have to wrap it up. I was like, Jesus Christ. Literally, I got off the phone. People in the chat were just like, maybe you should have muted the microphone for that conversation. I was like, I didn't know she was going to say that shit. Next time I talk to her, I'm going to have to talk to her about stream etiquette because I was bummed, not just like for the rest of stream, for the rest of the night, for the next like 18 hours. I was just like, maybe I can't take care of myself. What the fuck?
Fuck is right. That's brutal.
That's just wanted to tie it back to egregiously sad. That's the adjective I thought of when she pulled that shit. I was like, okay. And my friend,
Mayhaps
oh
sad.
my god.
Yes. um.
My friend
Oh,
Bobby was like, was she laying it on? Was she like playing it up for stream? I'm like, no, she's just that like anxious and sad.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like when you first were like, she's done this 3 times. I was like, okay, so like Regina's a performer. Like this is like free therapy right now.
You remember when I broke my tooth and then went live and she called
Yeah.
me, she was crying. She was like, "Is this a cry for help?" I was like, "I don't think so. I don't remember how I broke my tooth, but I don't think it's a cry for help."
No one remembers how you broke your
No,
tooth. All we
good
know is
times.
that it happened.
We just
I'm
know what
so
happened.
sorry I left you alone
It's
for a
yeah,
little bit.
that's we're past it. We're so
Are we?
past it.
We're so past it. That's a crazy day.
Yeah.
One day we'll one day we'll talk about that.
Never again.
Never.
Um
Okay. Yeah, fair.
uh I do have I guess it's Halloween time, sort of. October. It's the leaves are changing. It's very beautiful out.
Mhm.
I was doing Uber Eats as I do. I delivered someone alcohol, and when I knocked at the door, I was like, trick or treat. And they're like, oh, ha ha ha. I guess it is that time of year. And I was like, yeah, for Halloween this year, I'm going to be an Uber Eats delivery driver. And they're like, really? And I had to be like, no, I'm just. Does that happen to you where you have to like explain the concept of a joke to somebody? You're like, just
It's just
sign
like,
here and I'm going to go
oh
drive into a tree, I guess. Fuck, I don't know.
God, anything's better than this. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you get me out of this interaction.
Yeah, and it's because I feel like when you make a joke like that, especially with like a stranger, there's like a certain bit of kind of like trust. You're like,
Yeah.
I believe in you that you will get this. Like, I will be vulnerable.
I'm
Right?
making a leap. Please catch me. Please let me
Right.
fall into your arms.
Nope. That guy said, on the concrete, son. Get down.
I guess I'll
Um,
just go about my day. I got other
do you have a
deliveries.
Halloween costume? Are you gonna go as anything? Do you have plans for Hollow?
No. Oh,
Oh, Hollow.
no. Probably packing November 3rd. I'm going to come to New York on the way to Tampa. So if you want to hang out that weekend, I'll be around. What?
Hey yo, so you're doing the drive to Tampa?
I'll do the drive to Tampa for sure.
And is this to stay with Cam?
The stay with Cam for the next, 5 or 6 months. I'm very excited. He's got a arcade machine with Galaga and Pac-Man.
Wh- uh, I- What is that new? That's got to
That
be
is
new.
new. Yeah, that's a new. He just got it from Costco, and I'm just like, I feel like if I get a second camera, one on Cam and I, one on the arcade machine, that would make for great streams. Just like us competing for the high score.
Yeah, is you're good at Galaga, right?
I could be better.
But I think like I don't is Cam any good at Galaga? I feel
Cam's
like
good. Cam, we both take it seriously. We're both tryhards. I don't think either of us are like particularly good, but we both take it seriously.
okay, that counts for something. As long as there's
Mhm.
like similar levels of intensity, that
Yeah, for
because
sure, for sure.
yeah, because I
And
feel
if
like
I am better than Cam, he'll put more time in until he's better than me, and then it won't be close, and then he'll dust me every time. I'm like, God
that's
damn it! It's so
he's
accurate to playing video games with Cam. Am I
it
wrong?
really is. It's just like oh, he gets so good at like one
Yeah,
particular strategy that it's just like he doesn't need a fucking curveball because his fastball is just so goddamn good.
yeah,
Like, because he just
yeah.
does the same thing. Right. Yeah, no, I feel like I have lost to Cam and like Super Smash Brothers like so many times in my life, and it's like never been not frustrating because it's always like you've been doing the same moves since we were 12. Why can't I crack this?
Right. Yeah, so
um,
there might be a lot of that. I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good time. I feel like I'm gonna be in New England just long enough where it's like the leaves have fallen and it's now fucking cold, and I'm gonna be like, great, I'm fucking gone.
yeah, you're timing this like perfectly. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we had a nice like September was kind of like we had a good like fake summer, you know?
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
and it wasn't until like the last like maybe week and a half that it really I feel like tanked a little bit. Like
Yeah.
it got cold recently. So you're
Yeah.
getting at yeah, you're getting out of here at the right time. Um is your room like furnished and shit down there? Like
Yes. I was like, do you want I gotta like bring like a desk and a bureau and a bed. And he's like, nah, we got all that. I'm just like, that damn, he's hooking me up. He's really hooking me up.
that's crazy. That
his his dad was like didn't want me to come down the first week of November because they were still working on it, and his dad wants it to be 100%. And I'm just like, no, my first off, my standards, I don't care. Second off, let me help because they're like putting in new flooring, new cabinets, like all of this shit. And I'm just like, I like feeling useful. Please put me to work, especially if I'm gonna be living here. Jesus Christ.
they can't leave you like a desk or something to like put together yourself.
Yeah, exactly. They buy an assembled desk, they disassemble it just to make me feel better.
Oh,
They go the extra mile for certain.
sorry,
Oh,
it's not my
you
guitar.
unplugged.
Oh,
Oh,
did
the
I unplug?
guitar.
Oh, no,
Oh,
you
you
can
know what I did last night?
tell me.
I saw The Wonder Years with Zack, and it was the 10-year anniversary of Greatest Generation. They played it in full. I was just like,
That must have been awesome.
I was getting water. They like took a break but after that, and then they came back and did like a second set of like songs not from that album. And I was getting water, and I was like talking it up, being an NPC with like the people nearby, and I was like, "Am I back in high school again?" Because that shit just hit. That shit. I was like, "Damn." It was funny. They were like, "This album came out 10 years ago." And I understand. I've been to enough shows, I've done enough anniversary shows to understand that there's some people in this room that have not listened to a Wonder Years song since this album came out. And I just want to say, I get it. I respect it. And I was just like, that's really funny because it's definitely true. It's not true for me, but it's definitely true for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, no, that was like I feel like Greatest Generation was kind of like peak
Yeah,
like
that was like
Wonder
that
Years
album.
like popularity. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
it
they
was. It was for sure.
uh but it was a great set. It was a great
Oh,
show.
it was a great show. Good times. Good times. I'm very sore.
Oh, from like hitting other people and shit.
No, I wasn't. I didn't do it. I was just jumping up and down in place, and then my heart was going like, "Ooh," and I was like, I gotta do cardio. I guess this shit's embarrassing. I can't stand in place. I felt bad for the person behind me getting hit with like the sweat from like the top of my hair every time I like did a headbang. I was like, this is disrespectful, but I can't not do it.
No, you have to. It would have been disrespectful to the band to not
Yeah,
headbang like
exactly,
that.
exactly.
How's Zach? How's Mr. Clo? It's been like
Zack is good.
10 years.
He just did a trip to Arizona. It was his first time flying, doing a solo trip. He was like, it was the first time I did, what's it called? Connecting flight. I was like, a layover. He was like, yeah, a layover. I was like, all right, man. All right.
I mean, over. You got it.
Yeah, layover. Hell yeah. He's doing good. Uh, he is a big. He watched the podcast. He'll watch
What?
this one. He's a big fan. He said he was dying about the ice cream truck. Cam running after the ice cream truck. I'm just like, yeah, that was funny, wasn't it? It's like, hell yeah, hell yeah.
There were like, yeah, maybe like a handful of people in the world who know everyone that we're talking about, and like he's one of them.
Yeah, for real. I was just like, you're a real fan. I was talking to Bobby afterwards, and I was like, yeah, and it was cool because he actually watched the podcast, and Bobby was like, what podcast? And I was like, the one I did with Tommy, and he was like, oh, I watched that. He was like, wait, did you send it to me? And I was like, I didn't send it to you. He's like, oh, then I haven't watched it. And I'm just like, Zach's subscribed to my YouTube channel, and Bobby's like, I
You
don't.
have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, literally. I'm just like, fake fan. And then I talked to Bobby for like an hour about literally nothing. I'm just like, you could be using this time to listen to the podcast.
If I was Bobby, I would have said, nah, I bet you tell the same jokes.
I do. I literally, we got like drinks before the show, and to Zach, I was just like, hey, I apologize because I'm going to say jokes to you right now that I'm going to repeat to Tommy tomorrow. He's like, no, that's good. Workshop. That's what I'm here for. Workshop. I was just like, so I was doing Uber Eats, right? And I said trick or treat. Okay.
Oh my God. Flo heard it first. Oh
Flo heard
my
it
God.
first.
That rocks. Oh my God.
What do you think about so you said it'd be a good idea for us to have a theme to keep us instead of like topics or like stories. I feel like a good theme for this week would be podcasts.
That's
or
so
podcasting. Okay, so the Vlogbrothers, John and Hank Green.
Yeah.
Do you know how they got their start? What the first thing that
they did videos back and forth.
They did
Vlogbrother things, right?
Yes, and it was like the first year of doing videos. That was their only form of communication. They weren't talking besides the weekly videos that they would post online, except for like maybe like emergencies or whatever. And I'm just like, I feel like Tommy and I kind of do that. That'd be cool. That's what's going to happen. We're not going to talk outside. So there are going to be things where it's just like, hey, we should talk about like how we can make the podcast better. We can like review jokes from the first episode. But I guess we could just do that live on the podcast. Because I'm just like, damn, I really at the very beginning of the first episode, I talked about how Rick and Morty makes so many jokes, too many jokes for my dad to understand, and I'm just like, wow, I sound like such an asshole. Like, what?
My dad isn't big brained enough to watch Rick and Morty.
First of all, Rick and Morty, like, I don't want to be that kind of guy. Like, you have to be fair, you have to have a high IQ, but you know what I'm trying to say.
How do you be that guy without being that guy?
God damn. I'm just like, all right, so for this episode, I turned you up, so now you're not as quiet. I don't know how much of the last episode you watched, but you're much louder this episode. And we've talked less about TV shows thus far. There's still time, and we have made less jokes that are just other people's stand-up bits.
Yeah, I think that we've grown tremendously.
Exactly. Oh, we could try and talk about title of what we want to call it. Or I think it's funny if we just like don't call it anything, which is fine for YouTube. I can just say like episode 3 and then the name of whatever, episode 2, whatever. But if we ever want to upload it to Spotify or Apple Music, I think they might be. We would need a name.
Shit.
Yeah, and this is something that like I've thought of the question and I've thought of 0 answers. I don't even have I don't have a single clue what we could call it.
Vlog cousins.
Vlog cousins, exactly.
Direct.
Pod
I'm
cousins,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I was really pod cousin.
Pod cousins.
That's a
Stupid.
that is stupid. That is
But I
funny
don't
though.
mind having a stupid title. I feel like
Yeah,
that
I
would
don't.
fit.
There's no smart, right, or non-stupid way to do this. This is like, this is it. Like, yeah, we're really like, I don't know. I feel like we're kind of like we can only go up. We're
We're
really
winging it.
scraping the bottom of the barrel right here.
That's what I think. It's just like if we can make the worst podcast possible and make that funny, then there's like the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I want the takeaway to be from each episode. Like, are they trying? Like
Oh my
that.
god. Well, one thing I've improved on from last episode, I don't know if you noticed, you didn't because it was off screen, but I was solving a Rubik's cube, and then I was just like, I'm not really even like paying attention to the conversation. I'm more focused on the Rubik's cube. Now I'm playing with a clothespin. A lot less mentally in it's taken up a lot less of my mental. So I'm actually that's improvement. That's growth right there.
That
I
is
see the
growth.
Rubik's cube. I see the Rubik's cube. I'm not gonna grab it. That would be a mistake, but I see it.
Yeah.
It's in my line of
Yeah, and
sight.
I am glad that like I was able to be a little more compelling than a clothespin. Like I totally get if I wasn't more compelling than a Rubik's cube last time. This time I really brought my A game, man.
Oh,
Like
those
if
are
you
good DC stories for sure, for sure.
told a story or two. Done that in a minute. Um
Would you?
yeah.
What's our guest policy? Because I asked Bobby if I could do a podcast with him, and then so what if I just did a podcast with episode without you? Would that have to be a different podcast?
No,
Would you
that
be
can
like,
be that can be the same. I think I won't be upset if like you're the host and there is a rotating cast of characters around you. Like I understand. Like this is you, dude. This is you.
as
I
pod
am
cousins, and it's just anyone who I would like confide nearby, which is
well.
how cookouts work in our family.
That's
Anyone
exactly
nearby
right.
is a cousin.
This is the 4th of July podcast. This is
Yeah,
the
that's
yeah.
beautiful. That's
This is
beautiful.
you're a cousin. Everyone's a cousin. Though I feel
Everyone's a
like
cousin.
there is like kind of like a cultural thing though. I feel like with calling like everyone your cousin, and I feel like you got to just be like a little careful. Like I feel like people are like you're trying like you're gonna be like an off-brand breakfast club kind of deal. Like we're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, appropriating. Okay, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. I see what you're saying.
you can
I'm okay
cut
with
that.
that. Oh, I have started. So I call people when I'm doing Uber Eats and I leave voicemails. I've started leaving freestyle raps for
uh,
people.
how does that affect your tips? I need to like. Does
No,
it make them?
not for the customers,
Oh.
for my friends. Hey, your food's at the door. Pay me more. 5 stars for sure. The ceiling is the floor. It's off the top, It's just, it can go anywhere. That's what I said. I left one for Cam. I was just like, it's off the top. Oh, the call dropped. And then I hung up. And I was like, that's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that.
That is pretty good, and I'm really glad that you're leaving them for your friends and not for the customers, because I really thought that was like your new tactic. You're
No,
times are
like
tough. You
you
noticed.
can you can leave like notes for customers, and it's supposed to be just like where you left the food. But like now that people have really scary decorations, I'm just like too spooky, almost didn't deliver. Or it'll be like, I saw a bunny outside.
Yeah, that's good. That's the right amount of banter to have with your customer.
I was like, there's a bunch of turkeys, go outside right now. I said that once. And then I don't know if
You're
they
never gonna
saw
fucking
it.
believe this.
You're not
Get
gonna
out.
fucking believe this, yeah.
Oh my god. That's awesome. That I feel like you got to do shit like that. Like in any job you do, I feel like at some point it just becomes about making little games to kind of like keep yourself
Yeah.
like engaged and happy. Like
Yeah.
it's just like what like side quest can I do, to kind of make today bearable? Oh, I
Yeah.
know. I'll write nice notes.
I'll start saying trick or treat when I knock on people's door.
And
That
that
person did
dulls
not. That
voices for a
person
day.
did. Tell some voices for a day. Goddamn. Um, that person did not give me candy, and I was like, I understand I said this as a joke, but you know, if you
Damn.
have candy, come on, are you not expecting trick or treaters?
Well, so
Am I?
I feel like so Halloween's a Tuesday, right? Which is
How long is a
presumably
Tuesday? What'd you say?
Halloween.
Halloween. Halloween is a
Halloween is a Tuesday.
Tuesday. Sure.
Uh, well, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna are you gonna drive that night? Because I know you don't usually drive on Tuesdays, but like, you could get a lot of free candy from
I
people just
I
leaving bowls
almost
out.
certainly will drive. I love driving on holidays.
Oh,
Like Thanksgiving, I'm just like, I'm glad I could deliver takeout this Thanksgiving for you.
yeah, it because you're a part of it. You are a part
Yeah.
of their story for this
Yeah.
holiday. Yeah, and I feel like Halloween is definitely gonna be one of the better ones to just like be driving around on. Like, don't hit
Yeah.
anyone, but
Yeah.
like
And
you're gonna
maybe
see a lot
like
of kids.
don't go to downtown Salem, but like besides that, I
You're
have been
good.
avoiding Salem at all costs. I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't go into Boston, I don't go into Cambridge. I'm gonna add Salem to that list right now. It's just a little too much.
Those are like, yeah, three of the worst places to try and drive. Like,
Yeah.
all of them like confusing in their own regard, like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
densely populated with people who don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Um,
Don't make me stress about parking. I hate this shit.
oh my God. Yeah, I can't even imagine. But I read somewhere this year that like the like avoid locals want you to avoid Salem in in Halloween time, like rhetoric is working like too well, and like tourists aren't going to Salem this year.
Oh, and am I
And
one of the
there's
tourists who's not going to Salem? Salem could be deserted and I just wouldn't know because I
no.
avoid it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You only see one building in Salem on Derby Street, and you're only there after
Yeah.
8 p.m. This big shout Spitbar. So like, yeah, I
To
can
those
see how
who are
you
unfamiliar with the barcade, it's a barcade and it's the only place in all of greater Boston. People like visit, like I had one friend visit from like Atlanta. He's like, "Hey, I'm staying in Boston. You know any cool spots I can hit up?" And I was like, "There's one barcade in Salem."
yeah, yeah, right. That's amazing. Yeah, there's your it's your one thing. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I know you just came to this city. Okay, wait, time out. I'm gonna try and smoke less on this pot, like on the camera. I last time did not realize how much, how often I was just like fucking hitting my pet. I was like, I can't tell my parents. Like,
That's the
that-
thing. If you do it on the podcast, they're for certain never gonna see it, you know?
yeah, right,
It's
exactly.
beautiful.
And
It's beautiful.
okay, also now like both of my sisters like openly vape nicotine, like hit elf bars around my parents. So it's like I don't even do that. It's just like
Yeah.
mine's a little different.
Yeah.
Why my stigmatized? No, never mind. But
Because it's
yeah,
because you're the oldest sibling, you have to go through it
it's
so
true.
your younger siblings can have a better life. I
When
yeah.
when during the pandemic, when I made the entire second floor of our house smell like weed, I did that so that Emily
I
could
did
I did that so that Emily could buy two pre-rolls in front of my mom and then smoke them. She went to a store in DC with my mom, ordered two stickers because weed isn't legal there, so you buy a sticker and they give you a pre-roll.
Oh,
Fucking bought two of them. My mom was like, "What's that?" And she went and then smoked it. I
that's
was
funny.
like,
I
"You're nuts."
She didn't use your mom's credit card?
She very well might have.
Yeah.
The fact that she didn't mention it does not mean that it was not used. So,
Yeah.
you can never be too certain, but yeah, it's
And
just
you're just
like,
like, "I could never." Emily,
yeah,
Henny, you're so lucky.
literally. I was like, Though I'm not gonna act like my parents were particularly strict about
Right,
anything.
right, right, right.
Um, like I don't know. I feel like they trusted me and my sibs a lot. Like I was kind of like,
Yeah.
whatever. Please don't do anything stupid. And I feel like for the most part we did. I mean, now I'm doing a podcast, so how well did I really take that advice?
Yeah. Oh,
But
jeez.
like, yeah, I work in audio. Um, but I'm sorry. Yeah, so Bitbar is the only thing within 20 miles of Boston, just in case you were just to tie it all back together. Um, I'm gonna blow your mind and tell you that there's a barcade in Cambridge too. That's pretty cool. Though not as
No,
cool as
no.
no, no,
I haven't been there, but no.
no.
What do you think about the idea of me making business cards that are, say, like on the front they're like, "Hey, I just delivered your food. I also uh do other stuff," and then on the back it's like my Twitch and the band and the podcast, and then I have it in my back pocket, and I don't attach it to every food I deliver, but only if it's like someone who seems cool, someone who like seems like they know what Twitch is. I'm just like, I feel like I
Yeah,
should. I feel like I'm missing out on potential
I
not
mean,
customers, viewers, you know.
viewers, you know, yeah. I feel like if you're pretty selective with it, that could be cool. Like you have to
Yeah.
only like give them to people who like order Taco Bell and like specifically get a Baja Blast, or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
stupid like
I'm like, would I get fired for that?
is there like a no soliciting thing?
I
Like I
have
get
to
it.
imagine. I
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
imagine.
No. You might, I mean, so yeah, just like don't put your name on it, I guess. Like, but
I feel
like
like that
put
kind of defeats the
well, no,
purpose.
like put your like fucking Twitch shit. Like the Uber Eats is not gonna be like, uh-oh, time to connect the dots between Hammer Nose on Twitch and which one of our drivers this is. No, but if it says your name's Coyle, live in Massachusetts, like then they're gonna be like,
Yeah, yeah,
do
yeah.
you delete your
J-
account,
Yeah.
Um, uh,
Interesting, interesting.
but I feel like it's a double edged because you could, on one hand, lose a stream of income, which is driving if you get
Oh
fucking
yeah.
kicked off the app. Which I mean, you probably wouldn't. You'd probably just get like banned temporarily, right? You have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
imagine.
yeah. It'd probably be like a
Um,
week or two. I don't know.
but I feel like that
Hopefully.
also, like, if it falls under the right circumstances, has like a little bit of viral potential. Like all it takes is like somebody taking a picture of that and being like, "LOL, my Uber Eats guy just gave me his Twitch," or like,
But I bet
like
in like
you'd
LA
end
or
up on
whatever,
Ellen. You'd end up
I
on
bet
Ellen.
Ellen maybe.
Yes.
Is Ellen
In
still
2019,
kicking?
2017, you would have ended up on Ellen for that stunt. Never
I bet
mind.
like
Continue.
in like LA, it's probably more rare to not get one of those. I bet like every delivery driver's got a side hustle. I've definitely seen one go viral where it's just like, my meal just came with a mixtape.
Yeah, see, you got the
Yeah,
exact same thing.
exactly, exactly.
This here is my Hearthstone highlights.
I am doing really well in Hearthstone. I'm killing it. I'm
Yeah,
I'm climbing the ladder. It's no big deal.
that's all you need. You just need to be like, hey man, I'll here's like a montage. Yeah, like link your favorite video of yours. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like that definitely has like a little bit of right. It's a little bit high risk, high reward game right there.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
yeah. I mean, shit. How much are business cards?
I don't think they're not that
What's
expensive. You
what's
can
the
get a.
cost? What's
I
the
remember
bare?
freshman year of high school. I don't know how, but someone found out there was like a promotion on some website was doing business cards where you get like 200 for like $5. And so everybody just made their own business cards because they thought it was funny. And it was. And so we just like handed out business cards. Good times. Good
Well, there you
times.
go.
Yeah. And
Shit,
so
it
I was
worked then.
just
It can work
like,
now.
yeah, I know a website where I can get a deal. I can do that shit.
Yeah, shouts Vistaprint. I got you.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah. Well, to go back, I feel like I've seen. I'm not on Twitch a ton, right? I really only
Hmm,
ever go on
hmm.
Twitch to watch your thing, or like if I really don't have a lot of other options, or like if another one of my friends is playing.
Yeah.
Uh, but I've seen like, and you've sent me like shit of people being like, doing Uber Eats live on stream till I make $100.
Yep.
Like, I bet you that shit is rampant and like,
No,
that
she
must be
was
so annoying, bro. Like,
she did
trying.
that was a streamer named Extra Emily, and she was doing it in New York with a bike, and I think she made maybe $20 in like 8 hours, and I was just like, this is rough.
That's
And then
brutal.
she did a different stream that was Instacart, seeing if she can make Instacart $100 in a day, not stopping till I make $100. She was driving around in her Tesla, and part of Instacart is you have your phone and you have to be like, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? And then she got suspended off Twitch for a week for using her phone while driving. And I was just like, I get it.
Yeah.
Because it was like kind of mini viral on like Reddit, and all of the comments were like, this is so dangerous, she deserves a full lifetime ban, she could have killed someone. And I'm just like, do y'all understand what Instacart and Uber Eats is?
Yeah.
Like, I I I understand I'm in the wrong here, but it's literally necessary for the job. It's part of the
Oh,
job.
right.
I get it.
I,
Like, come
and I
on.
mean, there's like protocol and there's shit that you can do to make it not dangerous. I mean, like
Yeah.
you can have your phone on like a little stand thing, you
Yeah.
and like or whatever. I don't know. So you can only holding it some of the time, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it is kind of like very kind of like white collar to think like, there is just like no room for any kind of like conversation here. Yeah, that's silly. Did she have like when she was on a bike? Was it like a foot bike or like a engine bike? You know,
It
like
was like it was like it was like a city bike, like one that you rented, so it must have been a foot bike. Or
see
are those
that.
electric?
No, I think those are foot powered. But like all the delivery drivers around me have like the scooters or like some
Yeah.
kind of like electric thing, and that like some of the setups that these folks have where they're rocking kind of like three or four different phones at once, like just like collecting deliveries. The amount of
Yeah.
times like I've picked up, my delivery driver is Ashley, and then I get down there and it's like this like
Not
40-year
Ashley.
old guy. Like, you are not Ashley. Right? But my food is the same nonetheless. So
Yeah.
5
Shout
stars,
out.
uh
Keep
like
up the good work,
yeah,
Ashley, as
kind of,
he
yeah, right.
drives around
As
town.
you were, Ashley. Thank you. Um, but it's just like, yeah, I, I'm surprised that she wasn't able to make $100, but I bet you if she had an electric thing, she'd make more.
I bet if she
Ashley's
had
out
more
here scooping
phones.
orders left and right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's got this.
Um,
Oh,
oh geez.
I don't know. You just started talking about streamers. Do you know anything about what's going? Isn't there like a big YouTube controversy going on right now with like somebody getting doxxed and like a?
Yeah.
I
So
feel like
I feel like my opinion about this is wrong. I'm
right.
afraid
We
to.
can cut it
So
there.
so
Go.
so so there's two YouTubers, neither of whom I watch or are familiar with. One of them is very popular. Her name's like SS Sniper something something, and she does react content where she has a video, like someone else made a video and she's in the corner like laughing at it or saying
Yeah.
this or that. Um and there's another YouTuber, and so this she does it like every day, like not giving credit to the original person, and people think it's kind of scummy.
Yeah.
But like, it makes her a lot of money, so like why would she stop? Is
Right.
kind of like how I'm thinking of it. And then there's another person who's like for a long time named Jack's Films, who
Jack
for a
Films.
long time.
Who I watched in 2011, dude. Like I
Really?
watched the shit out of Jack's Films in high school. Yeah, that was like,
Really?
yeah. So it's like really weird seeing him kind of be like a main character in this because I'm like, oh my god, like
He's still around?
he's still around and is like double, triple the size of what he was. Like he used to make like, like music videos and sketches and like parody songs and shit. And now he does a lot of the uh like I give you a prompt and you respond in the comments, and then in the next video like I read the funniest comments and like blah blah
Okay.
blah. And so like I don't really like rock, I don't know. That's like just
You
I
aren't
also just like don't
commenting.
I'm not commenting. I'm not like I haven't interacted with a Jax Films video
Yeah.
since maybe
in
like
a decade. Yeah.
2017. But it was like it's very weird to see. Like I have no idea what's going on other than like now his tweets are getting a lot of likes, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
but now
who
you know
is?
where he lives.
Yeah, right. It's like I know where him and his wife are. It's like
Oh,
what?
Jesus. Um, so he has been trying to like get her to stop doing React content because, you know, she's not crediting people. It's not original. It's lazy, it's boring, it's whatever. So he's started doing a thing where he reacts to her reactions. And he would do this with every video she made, and he would have like a bingo sheet. He would have a bingo sheet of things like, because she would just say the same phrases over and over, and she would like not pause the video once, and she would just sit there and like say nothing. And so every time like that happened, he would check it off, and you know, it's like a whole whatever. And then so that kind of started a beef where like he was doing this for months, and she was like, I'm just trying to live my life. This motherfucker's harassing me, which I like maybe a little bit. And then she doxed him, literally posted his address, deleted it, and then was like, I don't even know how to dox. Why is everyone accusing me of this? It's like, okay. It's like, okay, yes, she committed a crime. She is in the wrong here. But in my mind, I'm also just like, let her live her life. Like, who cares? Like, I feel like he didn't need to do all that, like make every video about her. Like, of course, that's kind of like, even if you say like, I'm doing this in fun, in jest, do not harass this person, you're gonna get viewers who are like, I fucking hate SS Sniper Films for stealing content, and then they go harass her. So like, obviously she's wrong, she did a crime, but I feel like you can also just like, didn't I don't care. It doesn't bother me that she fucking reacts. That shit makes no difference to me. And she's like it why yeah,
Well,
that's
it's the like posting of his address thing. I think that is. I don't
that
think people
right,
really give
right,
a fuck
right, right, right,
about
right, right,
like
right,
the
right.
react. I mean, because right, the reacting to the reaction video. You saying that right now, I'm like that. A is a
It's kind of
Jackson
funny.
video, and yeah, that is funny. Actually,
It's
I'm
kind of
not gonna
funny.
front. But it's yeah. I just like yeah. I don't understand it necessarily the hate on reaction videos, but
Yeah.
like you can't like not hate on reaction videos and then hate on somebody reacting to the reacting videos. You know, I feel like it's
Okay,
just kind
that's
of
fair.
like
That's
it's
fair.
all
Yeah.
content. You know,
It's
it's
all
all
it's
kind of like
all
it's
it's all
all
part of the game.
feed the machine.
It's all feed the machine for real.
But so well, thank you for informing me on that. That was that. What a segment! That was a great 6 minute segment. You explaining that beef to me, and I'm very happy for that. Actually, boom!
But
Everyone
she
bookmark that one in the YouTube.
that's a
there's a
chapter.
chapter, buddy.
But I don't think she's faced any punishment for it. Like YouTube hasn't banned her account or nothing like that.
Yeah, feed the machine, baby. That's the machine. Like
That's the
feed
machine.
DC more. Like that's like they like this shit. They maybe, and I bet she'll get banned for like 4 days, and then we back
I have no idea.
probably. I
I
don't
have
know.
no idea. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll keep following it.
Awesome. I don't need any more updates. I actually got all of the info that I needed on that. I feel really good
Okay,
about
so
leaving.
today I'm gonna upload 2 videos. One is gonna be this, and then one is gonna be me in the corner reacting, like, that joke. I could have done like just reacting to the whole video, and then I might get a second person, and so we'll just have a podcast reacting to the podcast. Ooh,
That's great. I love
I think
yeah, I love that. I mean, I can be busy for 2 weeks if you just want me to fuck off and maybe
like, okay, we get it, James. You have guests. You got other cousins you're trying to bring on. I'm gonna bring on Caroline or Emily, get their side of the whole story from
oh,
Saturday
don't
night.
do that. Don't do that because everyone who like meets them, there's now a standard, and it's also just like, ah, shit, it's like they're him but funnier. Fuck.
They're him if he were a Henny Goblin.
Yeah, if I was the Henny Goblin, less anxious and maybe just like had somebody to fuck up in front of me, just like somebody showing me the way of all the things not to do. That's me. That's what I feel like. That's
Damn,
my role.
that's
And you can
beautiful,
cut
man.
that too. Thanks,
I'm
man.
gonna cry.
Yeah, yeah. The plight of the older sibling
Oh,
is so true. And
I'm
if
the
anybody
baby.
makes it
I'm the baby. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, that was good, man. That was good.
That was beautiful. All right. Thanks everybody. If you watched this long, you a real one. Bobby, if you watch this one long, you still fake.
Yeah, and tune in next time.
Who knows what's gonna
More on
happen?
that.
Will there be a theme? Will there be a title? Only
Will it be
comment
Bobby in the
below.
chair? Will it
Will
be
it be
me?
Bobby?
Who's gonna be in the chair?
Who's to know?
Anyways,
Do you have anything you want to say about the Celtics?
regular season starts in a week. Pretty excited. We look pretty good. I'm bought in. I'm bought in. I'm
Who's
in
the
my
guy
green.
with that? You are there. There was one guy with hair.
Most of them have hair. You're gonna have to help me out a little bit more. What number was he?
4.
Oh, Drew Holiday. He's pretty cool.
Holiday.
That guy is
Drew
pretty
Holiday.
cool. Yeah,
He's got good hair. That's what matters to me.
fuck with
Okay.
that guy.
All right.
All right. Well, that
take
was
it
fun.
easy.
Take it
It
easy,
was
man.
okay.
Yeah, I guess. We're
All
workshopping
right.
it. We're getting. We tried.
We tried.
All right.
All right.
Bye,
Talk
bud.
to you. Bye.
See you.